Afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon, well, Sunday lunchtime. Just rocked up down St Ives. Haven't done a lot of blogging the last couple of weeks. There's been absolutely nothing happening. In fact, the last fish out of here was mine 3 or might even be 4 weeks ago when I had that 32. So the lake's been fishing really poorly, but every week in the night I've been hearing fish right in the dead of night. Somewhere over near this corner. And last week I fished a little swim tucks over there, and it wasn't until me last night I heard 2 more, and they were even more in the corner than I was, which only leaves this little plot. It hasn't been fished for, oh, God knows, a couple of months I reckon. Most of it, as you can see, has been overtaken out there by weed. But I spent 6 hours last week before I left sort of rolling back the weed, getting it in. I was going in behind it and cutting it out, dragging it out, and then letting the wind push it back, and then taking another channel out and letting it push it back some more. I didn't want to get it too clear in case somebody dropped in here before I got back. But like I say, it's Sunday and I've just rolled up. Just got to clean out all this lot so I can get to the rods. Take a little clump of weed out the margins down the back here that I sort of left in on purpose to make it less appealing, and then crack on. Got the radio on down there listening to the rugby. This is actually the day after England's crushing defeat to Wales in the World Cup. Couldn't believe that last night. Watching that in the pub, I was devastated. Which means next week's game against Australia is so crucial. And me and my old mate Keith Jenkins have actually got tickets to that. So that is going to be one hell of a day. But we've got 2 matches left this afternoon, which I'm going to listen to on 5 Live. But first things first, I'm going to have to do a little bit of gardening. Got my tool. Make a little path. And drag a bit of weed. Well, it's mid-afternoon on Monday, and despite all my best efforts and a total of about 7.5 hours work on my swim, I still haven't caught anything, which is a bit poor. I haven't seen anything. I've been the only one here most of the day. Tetley's just turned up, but apart from that, it's been just me. I had a rather spectacular moon last night. It was the blood moon solar eclipse, whatever it's called. Only happens about every 30 years or something apparently. I set my alarm for 3 o'clock this morning and got up. The moon was proper deep red. It's beautiful. I sat up the rest of the night just listening for fish, but didn't hear anything. So we're going to have a barbecue in a minute. Just for a change. St Ives Barbie. I worked out this morning, I looked at the picture of that last fish I had, which as far as I know was the last bite, and it was actually 25 nights ago. So the lake's not exactly fishing well. I don't know quite what's going on. The whole of September practically without a bite. Usually my favourite month of the year, September and May. But not this year. Very, very poor. There we go, barbecue's over. And Tet are fully fed up. Not as in bored, just as in stuffed full of food. Lovely autumn evening. But will tonight be the night of the demons? Night 26 since my last bite. Well, not that I've fished them all, but that's how long it's been. Well, I finally moved. I done 2 nights up that end in that pre-prepared swim for no result. Saw nothing, had nothing, heard nothing. Had a nice barbie last night and that was about it. So I've come right up the other end of the lake and fishing in shallower water. It's extremely high pressure at the moment. So I'm figuring in high pressure they might move on to the shallows. That's about all I've got to go on. The days are ticking by without bites, but at some stage it's got to change. Maybe tonight is the night of the demons. We're in the copper swim, the one that was all flooded and horrible earlier in the year, but it's now actually dry land, as you can see. All of this was, well, this whole platform thing here was completely underwater, and so was most of this round here, but now it's quite fishable. And tonight, just by way of a change, we're going to have a barbecue. Quite bright out there. Have a barbecue. So I'm going to sit up there in the truck, chop up some chicken, marinate it, get ready for this evening, and after the barbecue, hopefully, one of them is going to rip off with a great big fat mirror carp. Looking good with the wind trickling in there. But the only thing wrong is wind brings weed beds. Already had to drag about 2.5 tonne of it out. It drifted in as soon as I cast out. But that's just par for the course now. Right, chicken preparation. Well, after 27 nights without anybody having a fish on this lake, I finally bagged one. It's about 10 o'clock at night. Unfortunately, I think it's possibly the smallest carp in the lake. It's a dear little fully scaled. He's 12 3/4 pounds. He's brand new, look at him. Little juvenile. But it's a carp and I haven't blanked. Thank you very much for coming. It could have been a bit bigger though, really, couldn't it? Got me excited for a while though. A couple of beeps, we got banged up in the weed. And I got him in, a big pile of weed, part of the weed, all excited, looked inside. And there wasn't an awful lot in there, was there? Hey? Well worth waiting a month for, you were. Right. Back. Well, Pabwa, that's it, mate. End of a session. At least we had one this week, eh? At least we had something. Just got to chuck the rods in the back and do one. And although it was only one fish, and a small one at that, it's quite an influential fish, quite an important fish. So all that time, almost a month without a bite to anyone. Got to start thinking maybe it's going to happen. Maybe October's the new September. You can only live in hope. Last September, I think practically every big fish in here came out in the month. This September, there was one on the 1st, one on the 3rd, and one on the 29th. Quite a different month. But I'm fully optimistic. I'm going to batter them next week. You see if I don't. But before that, I'm going down to Twickenham to watch Australia get crushed by the English. See, full of optimism. So, till such times, I'll see you all later.